Hey guys, techmadeezy, and thank you so much for clicking on our video today. Guys, if you are thinking about getting a Bluetti power station or you already own one, well, guess what? They just came out with a way to expand your battery capacity. This is the brand new B80 expansion battery. Now, this is lithium iron phosphate, and you got 806 watt hours of capacity. Now, this thing can actually be powered on its own. It can power devices on its own, which is really cool also. So I like that they did that. I think that's important. People don't like to have a battery they can't do anything with. But this thing is also IP65 rated. Check this out. I was soaking this thing up in the backyard, just doing some testing, and had no issues whatsoever. You know, finally, they made a battery that can expand your Bluetti power station. So if you have an EB55, an EB70s, an AC60, an AC180, or even an EB3A, which has been super popular, very affordable, well, now you can connect this battery to it and expand the capacity. Look, in this video, I'm going to unbox, I'm going to do a close look, I'm going to go over specs, and again, I'm going to cover which power stations it works with and more. So why don't we go ahead and get this party started. Hi, this is Al from techmadeezy with a really quick message. The video you're about to watch is sponsored. We received this product from the vendor. But keep in mind, we will be very honest with you as we review the product. That is very important to us. If you like our video, I sure hope you give us a thumbs up. I hope you share our video. And last, I really hope you subscribe and become a part of the family. Thank you. So here's what we're going to be covering today, all right? An unboxing, a close look, detailed specs. We're actually going to go over the compatible Bluetti power stations so you could see the additional capacity you get. We're going to do a quick solar test. We're going to talk about IP65, and we're going to go over some accessories that you'll probably need. All right, quick message here. If you have a Bluetti EB3A, I am going to have another video coming out very soon, and I'll put a link in the description. And it's really going to go over how to connect it and how to activate it because it's a little tricky. All right, so if you have an EB3A and you're thinking of getting the B80 expansion battery, definitely look out for this video. Why don't we go ahead and get this unboxed? And there it goes. So we've got the battery, and as you can see, it's really not that big. And I love that it has an 806 watt hour capacity. It is lithium iron phosphate also. Very, very cool. So let's take a quick look at what's included. All right, so you do get a battery expansion cable. All right, so that's good they include that. There are other cables you're going to need, especially if you have an EB3A. And I'm going to cover that in the EB3A video, okay? Once that's done, there'll be a link in the description. You do get a user manual, and you get a warranty card as well. Always, register your products. Get that warranty. This has got a really nice warranty I'm going to cover in the specs, all right? So why don't we take a few minutes and just do a nice close look at the unit. So let's go ahead and take a close look at the unit. And I don't know if you know, but I put a wonderful picture of Brooklyn right up here in the corner. So she can always be with us. For many of you that know, my Brooklyn was a part of this channel way, way before I was. She has a lot of fans. So guys, this is the front of the B80. And let's go over the things here. So you have a cigarette lighter port, all right? And you've got two USB Type-Cs. Now, I'll tell you, I really like the covers on them, too. That's 100 watt, 18 watt. All right. This is your power button here. This is your DC button here. You do have an indicator that will light up. All right. So if I turn the power on, for a second, you'll see it's got 3 bars out of the 5 showing it's 60% battery. Okay, turn that off. All right, I think you got to hold it a little longer to turn it off. There it goes. Here is where you would plug in solar or car charging. All right, that's the DC port there, DC PV port. It does list the watt hours on the battery. Nice material, flat top, which is good. And guess what? Got a handle that pops up. And I got to tell you, this thing's got a nice rubber grip on the bottom. And it just kind of grabs, so it won't, you know, it's really hard to pop out. But made very well. I mean, I've been carrying and running around with this unit for a little over a week. Now, as we go to the side, you're going to see here that we've got a bleed valve, okay, right down there. I'll go ahead and put a little note on the bottom of the screen if you want to know what a bleed valve does. Okay, and then we've got the battery expansion port. And that's where that cable gets connected to. And there's also a cable that I'll be showing you in the EB3A video that's sold separately if you're going to use this battery as an expansion battery on the EB3A. I like that. I really think that's really nice. Back of the unit, simple. All right, side of the unit, simple. I'll go ahead and show you the bottom real quick. So here's a good look at the back, the bottom of the battery. You do have specs down here, which is good. You'll get your serial number. And then you do have some rubber feet here that, you know, seem to protect the surfaces that it's on. So that's that there, not too bad. Let's continue on with some basic specs for now, okay? And, you know, so this is the B80. And MSRP is $699, but I've actually seen it for $599. We'll put our Amazon link down below. Battery capacity is 806 watt hours. The chemistry is a lithium iron phosphate. Battery cycles, 3,000 plus, and then it goes to 80% battery capacity. And think about that. I mean, at 20% of the battery, you can get 3,000 life cycles. Solar, this has a built-in MPPT controller. Will support 200 watts max, 12 to 28 volts max, 8 amp. It's got a built-in BMS, which is amazing, so that's pretty smart. All right. AC input on the optional AC adapter will support 200 watts and charge this unit to 4.5 to 5 hours to charge this battery. All right, it does have pass-through charging as well, which is pretty cool. Now, let's go over the outlets real quick. So again, you get the car charge outlet, 12 volt, 10 amp. You get USB Type-C. This supports 100 watts. You get USB Type-A. This supports 18 watts. Okay. And the weight on this is 21.82 pounds or 9.9 kilograms. And the warranty, I'm very impressed. It's got a 6-year warranty, so very nice. Now, some things to know. Battery automatic shutdown. Okay, there's some scenarios I'll share with you. So if you turn the unit on and leave it on with DC actually off, the unit will automatically shut down after 4 hours. Okay. Now, if DC is on, but the output is less than 10 watts, or 10 watts or less, I should say, it'll shut down in 24 hours. So just be aware of that. Now, battery care. I want to start talking about battery care. So you're supposed to charge this to 80% every 3 to 6 months. Never let it sit at 0 or 100 for long periods of time. Lithium iron phosphate. And especially 0, right? Be careful. Do not, try to not even drain this to 0. I would recommend going to 20% and no more. But never let this really go to 0 or sit at 0 for long periods of time. Lastly, and this is all information from Bluetti, not from me. You should fully cycle the battery every 6 months to maintain battery health. That is in the manual, okay? So here are some accessories you might want to pick up if you buy the battery. And I will put links in the description if you want to pick those up. We've got the AC adapter, the solar cable, and the car charging cable. All right, I'm going to actually show you the solar cable and the car charging cable in a moment. Again, links will be in the description. All right, so the cables, this is a car charging cable to DC, and this is the solar cable, right? So DC barrel to solar. I'll put these links in the description. As I talked about a minute ago, I decided, you know what, let me plug the car charge cable into the EB3A for a moment and charge the B80. Now, it is not made to do this. This is a small battery, 268 watt hours. But I said, you know, it's pulling about 105 watts charging this unit, so you can see. All right, but these cables will be in the description. All right, so that if you do pick up a B80, you're going to want to know a way to charge it. And I'm also going to include the AC adapter as well. That's a 200 watt AC adapter. It takes about 4.5 hours to 5 hours to charge this with the AC cable. All right, but good stuff. Okay, we're going to do a solar test, a quick solar test. So we've got our B80. We've got the solar cable. We'll put the links in the description. We've got extra solar cable, so we don't have to have that out in the sun. We're going to keep it on the patio. I've got the disconnector tool. That'll actually disconnect this cable from here. And I've got the solar angle finder. That's going to help me get the best angle on the solar panel. I'll show you that in a minute. And then I've got a nice 200 watt solar panel. Okay, now the solar capability of the B80 is 200 watts max, 12 to 28 volts, 8 amp. Okay, and this is you know, this is going to work, this solar panel. So I'll include the solar panel and the accessories in the description if you want to pick that stuff up. But let me go ahead and show you how it connects. We got our solar panel angled correctly. It's connected using the longer cables. I'm going to show you how this works now. So the goal is to take this dot and get that shadow in the center, okay? And that'll tell you that you have the best angle possible on your solar panel. And so that's why this thing's laying like it is, because I've already done that. So you could see here, that shadow is in the dead center, right? If I had it up too high, the shadow would go down. If I had it back too far, the shadow would be up. So that is perfect, all right? And I'll put this in the description. I love this little accessory. But yeah, let's go ahead and connect it. So I took the solar cable from Bluetti. I plugged it in the corner here, right, to the DC PV input. And the other side, you simply have MC4 connectors. We're going to connect those to our panel that we just showed you. All right. And you'll start to see that the indicator lights will turn on, showing that we're charging. All right, so we're a little over 60% charged. We don't really know how many watts we're getting right now and all, but we've got no clouds, we've got strong sun, and using the solar angle guides really helped us get the right angle. All right, so there is our solar test. Now I'll show you how this works. So all you do, see the little pins? There's a pin here and a pin here. And this thing just helps you kind of just, you get it, you go underneath. All right, see that? Just goes underneath, pushes the pins in. And then you just pull out the cable. All right, we'll put the links in the description for you. All right, let's talk about expansion now. Look at all these power stations this thing is compatible with. Let's look at that list again. So the AC180, the AC60, the EB70s, the EB55, and the EB3A, right? Now, let's go ahead and take a moment and look at some cables that are going to be important, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the devices. So let's just talk about cables real quick, because I'll be honest, at the time of making this video, these are not available yet, okay? These will be out shortly, and we will try to put links in the description, all right? So this one here is actually going to come with the B80. This is called a battery expansion cable, and it will actually just connect on the side of the B80 here, all right? So on the side of the B80, you've got one battery expansion, and then you've got a bleed valve. And the bleed valve is basically made in the sense that, if this is around water, obviously IP65, that you can actually open up this bleed valve. And I guess it gets rid of some of the air. I haven't actually opened this thing up yet, so I'll have to play with that. But basically, this cable right here, locks in place. So once you put it on, you lock it in place. Okay, but this cable is the battery expansion cable. That'll be out soon. Now the next cable is called an Aviation to DC7909. So this is the aviation part. Again, as you can see here. So you would connect it to the B80, and then this would connect to many of the power stations we're going to talk about today. All right, so let's continue on and talk a little bit about how the capacity expands for many of those power stations that are compatible. So let's take some time going over the different power stations that connect to the B80. So the AC60, as you can see on the left side, the B80 is 806 watt hours. Now when you connect it to one AC60, you get 1209 watt hours, because the AC60 is 403 watt hours. All the way to the right, the AC60's got two battery expansion ports, all right? So you can go to 2015 watt hours, all right? Now let me talk a little bit about the battery expansion cable. So as you buy the B80s, they'll actually come with a battery expansion cable. So if you buy two of them, then in each box you'll get a battery expansion cable. But right now, that cable's not sold separately, and hopefully it will, hopefully in August or September, all right? Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the AC180 scenario. So as you can see, the AC180 doesn't have a battery expansion port. So you're going to need the Aviation to DC7909 cable that I showed you earlier. That is coming soon. And again, I'll put links in the description when it comes, but look at that. You can expand and get 1958 watt hours, right? Because the AC180's got 1152 watt hours. All right, let's take a look at the EB70s. A lot of people own this guy. And again, you just need the Aviation to DC7909 cable. That's 716 watt hours. And with the battery, 1522 watt hours. Really nice. Now let's go ahead and talk about the EB55. Again, you need that Aviation to DC7909 cable, which will come out soon. And that 537 watt hours would go to 1,343 watt hours. Really nice. Lastly, the EB3A. I mean, they sold a ton of these, right? And that thing only had 268 watt hours. But it's so nice to be able to add this battery and get 1,076 watt hours. All right, again, that cable, the Aviation to DC7909, will be available soon. Let's talk a little bit about charging options. So as you can see on this slide, you can charge via car charger on the B80. You can actually charge with the AC adapter at 200 watts. You can charge solar at 200 watts. And if it's connected to an AC60, that unit will actually charge the battery. Now, keep in mind, right now, the car charger is available. The link will be in the description. The solar, same thing. I'm going to put the solar cable in the description. The AC adapter is available as well. So those three will be in the description if you want to buy those, okay? So guys, I am impressed. I mean, it is really, really nice to actually have a product like this. I mean, think about it. When you bought those small power stations, especially the EB3A to actually only have 268 watt hours, right? I mean, you know, that's a small battery. I mean, it's 600 watt unit. So now you have the option to buy this, which is really nice. Again, lithium iron phosphate, right? 806 watt hours, 3,000 cycles, and then it goes to 80%. This is $699, but I find it on sale at $599. Okay? But guys, if this video helped you in any way, take a moment, give us a thumbs up. We'd really, really appreciate it, okay? And if you're new to the family, take a moment and subscribe. We'd love to have you as a new subscriber. You know, share our video if you could with your friends, your family, or any chat rooms you're in. And if you do, post a comment so I can know and I can give you some love. Check out our social media up here. We just got on Threads as well, like many people. And you can also check out our Tesla channel. We just got a Tesla, and we're using it. We're learning. It's pretty cool. I have almost 7,000 miles. I've had no issues whatsoever, and I love driving by gas stations, not grabbing that dirty handle, I got to tell you. We're going to be doing videos not only on accessories we've been buying, but we're going to be doing videos on, you know, how we're learning about the advantages coming from a gas vehicle going into an all-electric vehicle, especially a Tesla. So, you know, subscribe to us if you could. Guys, thanks so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.